If you've been frustrated with bugs, lag, or weird glitches in iOS 26, you're going to want to stop everything you're doing right now because Apple has just dropped the iOS 26.1 release candidate, and it's shaping up to be the biggest fix update in months. This is Apple's final build before the public rollout, a near-perfect version that addresses every complaint users have voiced since the last major update. From smoother animations to a completely revamped photo management system, refined UI tweaks, and improved Siri intelligence, iOS 26.1 RC isn't about reinventing the wheel. It's about finally perfecting it. So in this video, we'll break down every improvement, from battery stability and smoother performance to design changes and hidden tweaks that make this version a must-install. Buckle up, because by the end of this breakdown, you'll know exactly why iOS 26.1 RC fixes everything you hated, and why it might be Apple's smartest update yet. Stop what you're doing, because Apple has just rolled out the iOS 26.1 release candidate, and it's not just another routine update. It's a version that finally fixes everything users have been complaining about. This RC build, numbered 23B882, represents the final stage before the official public release, expected to land on Monday, November 3rd at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And trust me, this is the most refined and stable iOS version we've seen in months. Apple has gone all in on polishing the experience. Smoother animations, faster app launches, refined menus, and better consistency across the system. If you've been dealing with minor bugs, stuttering animations, or performance dips in iOS 26, this update eliminates all of that. But before we dive into the new features, here's the first thing you need to know. Make sure you have at least 16 to 17 gigabytes of free storage before installing. The update itself takes around 8 gigabytes, but iOS always needs double that space to unpack files, optimize data, and complete installation smoothly. Once done, your device will feel instantly more responsive. Now let's break down what's new. The Photos app has received one of its most underrated yet useful refinements. Apple has introduced a redesigned multi-selection menu that adds convenient options like Hide, Favorite, and Play as Slideshow right from the selection interface. No more digging through menus or scrolling endlessly. It's clean, quick, and very intuitive. Managing your massive photo libraries just became effortless. Moving on to alarms and timers, Apple has introduced a new slide to turn off gesture that replaces the old tap-based method. It gives you that tactile, satisfying interaction that feels fresh and modern. And if you prefer the old method, don't worry. You can bring it back under accessibility settings. These small tweaks sound minor, but collectively make everyday use more natural and fluid. Speaking of visual refinements, folder titles across the home screen now have smaller, more balanced text, offering a sleeker and more polished look. The overall interface feels subtly more refined, giving your iPhone that next-gen aesthetic without changing too much. And here's something exciting. Siri is now officially marked with a beta badge under its settings, signaling that Apple's working on a major upgrade powered by Apple Intelligence, its own AI ecosystem that's expected to rival Google Assistant and ChatGPT-level contextual awareness. Siri now feels slightly faster in response time, and its voice tone modulation has been refined, giving it a more human-like delivery. These improvements might seem quiet on the surface, but they point toward a massive transformation that's brewing behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about performance. One of the biggest reasons you'll want to install iOS 26.1 RC. Benchmark results from Geekbench and Antutu show measurable gains in responsiveness, with frame rates smoother in games and transition animations now virtually lag-free. Even older models like the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 13 are showing snappier performance. Apple has optimized the CPU scheduler to handle background tasks more efficiently, reducing lag during multitasking and app switching. The difference is immediately noticeable. Everything just feels snappier. The battery performance remains stable and consistent with iOS 26 and 26.0.1, which is a good sign. No new battery drain issues have been reported by early testers. It's rare for Apple to maintain energy efficiency while boosting performance, but they've nailed it here. You can expect your iPhone to last a full day with normal use, even if you're running heavy apps like Instagram, YouTube, or Maps simultaneously. Now, Apple didn't stop there. They've quietly addressed minor bugs that irritated users for weeks. Things like widgets freezing on the lock screen, notification banners lagging, and control center occasionally glitching have all been fixed. The transitions are now butter smooth, and overall stability feels rock solid. Even smaller details, like the keyboard lag and app library search delay, are gone. You'll also notice slightly faster Face ID unlock times and smoother animation transitions between apps. It's the kind of invisible improvement that doesn't scream for attention, but makes your iPhone feel fresh again. Apple has also subtly improved Bluetooth stability and Wi-Fi connectivity, addressing issues users face where AirPods or smart devices would randomly disconnect. Connectivity feels seamless now, especially when switching between Wi-Fi networks or connecting accessories like the Apple Watch or AirTags. Another big focus area for iOS 26.1 RC is system optimization. The code base has been refined to use less background memory, improving RAM management, meaning fewer app reloads and smoother multitasking. Whether you're jumping between Safari, Messages, or editing in CapCut, it all feels instantaneous. And here's something for those who love aesthetic harmony. Apple has updated icon alignment, spacing, and haptic feedback patterns subtly but effectively. The vibration when performing core actions like long pressing or swiping feels more precise, more premium. Every little thing you do on iOS 26.1 RC now feels tactile and deliberate. Now, let's talk about Apple Intelligence integration. Although still in beta, this system is quietly evolving beneath the surface, enabling iOS to learn your behavior over time. It predicts app suggestions more accurately, tailors Siri responses to your habits, and refines how notifications appear. For example, iOS now prioritizes what matters. Messages from people you frequently contact will show first, while less relevant alerts are grouped neatly. This AI-powered prioritization keeps your workflow organized without overwhelming your screen. And for those concerned about privacy, Apple Intelligence processes most of its data on device, keeping your personal information secure. Now, what about bugs? Every RC build has some, but in this version, they're virtually negligible. Some testers mention minor App Store animation hiccups, but Apple is already patching that before the public release. In essence, iOS 26.1 RC feels stable enough to be your daily driver right now. If you're still on iOS 26, this is the one you've been waiting for. Installation is straightforward. Just back up your data via iCloud or Finder, clear enough storage, and you're good to go. The update takes about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your connection, and it's worth every second. Once installed, you'll immediately feel like your iPhone got a mini refresh. Faster, cleaner, smarter. The animations when opening apps, the fluid scrolling, even the lock screen weight transitions. Everything feels deliberately polished. Apple has done what it does best. Take an already good system and fine-tune it to near perfection. So here's my recommendation. If you're on the fence about updating, don't wait. The iOS 26.1 RC is the smoothest and most reliable version yet, with every major annoyance from iOS 26 ironed out. If you rely on your iPhone daily for work, entertainment, or productivity, you'll love the balance this update strikes between performance and stability. Apple didn't add flashy new features this time. They focus on the details, and that's what makes it shine. So, go ahead, update your device, and enjoy what feels like an entirely refreshed iPhone experience. And that wraps up today's video. Apple has clearly listened to user feedback, and iOS 26.1 RC proves it. Don't forget to subscribe to TechVerse, because here, we don't just talk about updates. We break them down so you know exactly what's worth your time. Until next time, stay tuned, stay updated, and keep exploring the world of tech with TechVerse, where technology meets discovery.